right, so it's the day after New Year's. I think it's the second. Can't tell. Oh my gosh, I don't remember what day it is. That must have been a good New Year's celebration, I guess. Either that or my memory's going. One or the other, or both. Anyway, we did have a good New Year, but we got a call, so I'm going on a call now. Roadside emergency call. A Model 3 Tesla broke down on the side of the road on the freeway there, Corbett. Got a flat tire and possibly other issues. So we're going to go out there and see if we can rescue it. At least take the tire away and get it fixed. And see if we can get it back here shortly so they can get back on the road. So the call came in about 10 minutes ago. You know, the folks are stranded out there, so I got to stop at the office and pick up my tools to make it. Happen. But I've got my trusty old service truck, tow truck, with me that I'm driving now. And again, it is the day after New Year's, so a lot of people are still on, you know, vacation or whatever, traveling back home to their residencies from their visit across the country or whichever. And so it's a packed house or packed road, packed environment of traffic zones. And so we're trying to get there quickly and swiftly and get these guys back on the road. The problem with this mess is that Teslas don't really have the same opportunities as normal cars when they have a flat. Most often the Tesla vehicle is not equipped, and I believe all Teslas are this way, not equipped with a spare tire because they don't have the space for it. I don't think a Model 3 Tesla has a spare tire. So what that means is that they're at the mercy of the service shop or the tow truck company. Now we don't have a Tesla spare, so we're going to be taking their flat tire or damaged tire to a service shop. In the meantime, don't remain on the road. So we're going to mark and light them up with road flares and flashers and all that. And first we're going to try to get there and get them off the road in a safe zone, and then get the tire into a service shop before hopefully the service shops close, and then return the tire back to them and then get them back on the road. That's kind of the idea. Here we are at our office now, just arrived. We're going to be taking our tools, which are necessary for servicing the tires. All right, here we go. So these are my tools. We're going to be taking these and heading out on the call. As we travel towards Corbett exit here, you can hear the wind hustling or whistling in this gorge. This is Troutdale to Corbett. Wind is extremely high. It's blasts of maybe 40-50 mile an hour wind gusts here. It's extremely windy. That's what I'm trying to say. And so we're going to come across here the Corbett exit. Hopefully we can find this Tesla's position and get to them quickly. Well, we got the tire off, the Tesla tire off. We got the customer secured on the side of the road there at the exit. We got them supported. The frame and the axle supported on a stand, on a support. and the jack is left with them. I put the roadside triangles to mark their position. They're going to be temporarily stopped there for the time being as I'm heading over to a service shop to get this tire fixed. It looks like the tire is not terribly bad. It's got a steel rod through it, through the center, almost center of the left side of the tire, so it's possibly good repair. We're gonna see how fast we can get that tire repaired and return it back to the customer, put it back onto his axle, and have him back on the road here shortly. So of course we show up at the truck stop there to try to see if we can get a passenger vehicle, a regular vehicle car tire fixed. We have done that before. They have serviced us before. However, their policy since has changed. They can't work on regular car tires supposedly, or either that or just they're slow today. But anyway, it's TA truck stop over there in Troutdale. Refused to fix a flat on a passenger vehicle because their policy supposedly only allows them to work on semi tires. So because of that, now we got to go up the street at Nolan's Tires, or basically a service shop that deals with passenger vehicles only, so we can get this tire fixed. It is a little bit more than what we can get our hands on. Now you're probably wondering, why don't we just put a fix on our own, put that rubber seal thing with your probe into the tire, fix it, clean it, and put a temporary fix on there. Well, the problem is it's got a shard, like a metal shard, like a wide metal shard. It's not a puncture spot like a nail. So it looks like it's possibly elongated, if that's an actual word, I think. Anyway, it's more like a cut. It's the diameter of a quarter, possibly. Sheet metal cut. It looks like they caught onto something that's obviously a metal piece. And anyway, that means that the roadside emergency kits that we normally use, where there's that prong, that little handle, and then that probe, that long probe, and then the little rubber insulators or that fit into the holes where nails normally puncture holes, that's not going to work. And the reason for that is because this is actually wide. It's a wide cut, and so likely is that might actually spread. Imagine a puncture versus a tear. So those things don't work on tears or wide cuts, because there's no way to seal that break into the tire with just a rubber insert. And so for that, you need to go to the specialist and put an actual patch on. You got to grind, lubricate, or glue, grind, glue, and seal, and then patch up, and then press, and then re-air up. And so those are the service shops. We don't have the capability to service a tire that has a tear as this on the road, and that's why we're seeking our normal service shop. However, it is the 2nd of January, and everybody seems to be shorthanded or not available, and so our main go-to, believe it or not, is a place out here called Nolan's Tires. They do a great job. I refuse to service anything at Les Schwab Tires, only because they just are a little bit too complicated. And so with tires, you don't want complications, and you don't go to get a flat fix at Les Schwab's to be told, well, you know what, looks like we're not going to be able, we need a brand new tire. If they're the professionals, then they should be able to seal the tire with the best of their ability and make it work. And many times before, we've gone to Les Schwab's and they refuse to fix a flat. So anyway, with that said, we're on our way to Nolan's Tires. Hey guys, it's Chris here back at Nolan's Tires. What they have said to us is that because the because of the edge, the metal shard is too close to the edge. They can't patch it up. So they're recommending we get or for the customer, you get a used tire. This service shop, if this would have been further in, it would have been like 35 bucks. A used tire is maybe 50 bucks. So the customer gets to keep this tire, and they'll try to find a used tire that will work just as fine. And anyway, that's the plan right now. So we're gonna get them back on the road. They're gonna service this tire and put a used tire onto this rim, and then I'll head on back to try to get him remounted. So now we're waiting on Nolan's. Actually, it's Gill's Point S. By the way, Gill's Point S, but they used to be Nolan's tires. They've done a good job for me in the past here in Troutdale, Oregon, or Gresham, Oregon. Okay, so they searched, and they couldn't find a used tire. So now they're going to try. The customer was convinced that he needs a new tire. So obviously, against my best wishes, the customer has to incur the cost for the new tire, so that way he gets on the road. But Point S is the place to go. Still, if they would have found a used tire, unfortunately, this is a Tesla vehicle, and because it's a Tesla, it's hard to find used tires for Teslas. And so, they did find a new tire. And so sometimes that's the only thing that you can do is have a spare. But because Tesla does not make spares available to their customers are left without a spare when they have a flat. And so I recommend, if you do own a Tesla Model 3 or any model whatsoever, in addition to the repair kit you have in your vehicle that Tesla puts together, buy yourself a spare and find a place to put it and keep it with you, so you don't have to worry about, roadside emergency issues like these. This tire's got everything against it. One, the shard, the metal, aluminum, or whatever that is, insert, is on the side, almost corner to the edge. It's wide, and it's hard to repair. Now, we would have repaired it, and but considering Point S, their policy is it needs to last for a long time. I mean, I could see a patch going on there, honestly. If that would have been my personal vehicle, I would have been okay with the patch. It gives you approximately, I don't know, maybe 10 millimeters of space around it, and it's not necessarily on the edge. So I don't see the issue with it being patched the way it is. But I'm not the tire repair professional, so these guys have policies and guidelines they go with. They can't repair that, supposedly. Again, the first step would have been for me to service it on the road, by puncture, repair, seal with rubberized insert. That would have worked. These guys can't fix it because it's too close to the edge, to the sidewall, and so the only option is to put a spare, a used spare. They couldn't find a used spare. So then the only option is to get a new tire, right? So they're putting now a new tire on there. We're gonna head on out as soon as we can, as soon as they get it. My truck's sitting there 4 ways on. They're working on the tire now. So generally, one more thing I wanna say is, in this case, the customer's paying for the tire individually on his own because he's buying a brand new tire. We just provided Point S the contact information, and they contacted the customer directly at the roadside area. The customer and him work out the transaction details. They're honoring Point S, are honoring the discount that they normally give us, considering we buy, numerous tires from them. So they're able to pass that discount to the customer to get a brand new tire. So, but however, in this case, we're not negotiating anything other than giving the customer the discount. The customer and Point S is actually paid directly for the tire themselves, so we're not billing the customer independently. We're only going to be billing the customer for the service call, for the transaction, for the spare replacement, changing of the tire itself, and then the time that it takes for us to come out and get that tire serviced. But the cost for the tire remains at the customer's discretion and the Point S people. So that is where we're at right now. Customer's already been confirmed the new tire. Tire is being installed right now at Point S. It's almost done over there. We're going to be getting it here shortly and then heading on our way. Got the tire, brand new tire. Look at that. That's brand new tread. Very nice. You know, probably at some point, customer may need all the other 3 tires the same. But at this point, he's got a brand new tire that's going to do him justice to get back on the road and get back home safely. So we're going to strap it down here to our flatbed and go on our way. So as we're traveling back to the customer to put the new tire back on, I want to address something because we get a lot of comments about this issue quite a bit. You know, many of you guys are professionals out there in the field, understand how tires and roadside emergency services actually take place, or how they should be handled. And you know that some tires can be fixed on the road, some tires can't be fixed on the road. You know, because of the limited capabilities of roadside emergency services, you really don't have the means or the availabilities to service a tire on the road as you can in the shop or in the comfort of a closed environment or shop with lifts and tools and equipment. So that said, please, if you're putting a comment out there like, why didn't you service the tire on the road? Well, just know that this, like I explained in the previous comments or in the mentions, this tire specifically was damaged at the discretion of Nolan's Tires or Point S Tires beyond repair. At my personal opinion, it is something that we can service and we can put a patch on there and get the customer back on the road at least 20-30 miles down the road. However, because the patch kits that we offer on the road are limited to puncture wounds or puncture holes, we are unable to put an official patch, you know, square 1x1 patch or, you know, square patch on the road because we're not equipped for that kind of service for roadside. We can put air in the tire. We can inflate your tires and put a puncture hole seal back in there so you can get on the road. We can put fix-a-flat. We can change out the spares you have. You can do all those things that's necessary for you to get back on the road. But however, in some cases where tires get damaged beyond repair, in this case, this is one of those, you really don't want to risk putting a patch on there, even if you had the means to do it. Now, if this would have been in my personal vehicle, my Tesla, to get from that point, and if I had the kit and everything else with it, I would have fixed it on the road and got to a service shop. Still would have brought me to the same position. I would have still had to manage to make my way over to a Point S, Les Schwab's, one of the tire service shops. So no matter what I would have done on my own, according with all the equipment that I had, it would have led me to the same point. I had to service that tire. So the service that we're doing, running around back and forth trying to get through traffic and negotiate with the tire service shop, discount the new tire sale, and install, take down and reinstall back the tire. That service is called the Roadside Emergency Service that we provide. So that is what we get paid for when we go out there on a call. We put our four-ways on, our flashers, our emergency lights. We exit the vehicle. We get into the heavy wind or rain or snow or whatever it is that we're encountering. We deal with the elements of the road, the emergency condition, the traffic congestion, the crazy drivers out there. We deal with all that. We risk ourselves to change a tire, to put a new tire back on. We risk our livelihoods and our safety. but we do everything under a measured risk. So yeah, there's still elements of risk that we're managing, but we take as much as possible precautions to negotiate that risk and to provide a service that is reliable and that gives the customer peace of mind. With that said, we would do the same for our own families. I would do the same for my own family. I would do the same for myself. So I treat everybody, and we expect, meaning myself and I and all the members of our company, we expect to be treated, and we treat everybody like we like to be treated as well, our own families. So we take every effort to make sure that they're safe on the road and that we give them peace of mind, because that's what we're supposed to do. That's what our service is all about. So that said, we're a few minutes back to a few minutes to get back to the tire, and yeah, I just want to cover that. So just know that if you're putting in your comments saying, why didn't you service this tire on the road, just know this tire was unserviceable at this time in this particular example. But there's been other tires that we have taken care of, and hey, no problem, they're good as new almost. But this tire, it needed additional support and additional service. And the call came in, by the way, not much. This call was quite quick. So I mean, considering the time the call came in and the time that we're returning and getting the customer back on the road, I want to say it has been, let me take a look here, it has been essentially from the time that we received the call till now, it has been exactly, let me take a look, it has been exactly 1 hour and 30 minutes till approximately, or 1 hour and 30 minutes approximately to this now. So by the time we get the tire back on, it will be closer to an hour and 45 minutes, maybe 2 hours from the time of the call. It is now closer to 4:30 p.m. and by the time it will only take about maybe 3 to 5 minutes to put the new tire back on. So likely an hour and 45 minute service call is what it took to handle this particular call. So correction, the call came in at 2:59 p.m. That would make it 3 o'clock. That would make an hour and 45 minutes to this point. And right now we're just pulling up to the vehicle. So here we are putting the new tire back on. Of course, now my tools jacked up. We're going to tighten it, put it down on the ground, retighten and torque it, and then get them out on their way. Tire's back on. The wheel, the lug nuts are torqued. Tire pressure is good. We're going to release it, and the customer's ready to go. Hey guys, it's Chris here with the customer. Remind me your name, sir.
Rick Davis.
Mr. Davis here. Are you satisfied with my services?
Yeah, you were very prompt and dealt with a difficult problem, and I appreciate it.
Well, thank you, sir. And I'm sorry that you had to go through this, but he's got a brand new tire there on the beautiful Tesla. Wife and him are heading back home, and I'm happy to service them. And you guys, have a wonderful day in the new year. Be safe out there.